Welcome to Certain Point of View, your first step into a much nerdier world. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on iTunes. Just go to certainpov.com. Thanks. And now your hosts, Ben Milton and Addy Thomas.
Hey Nerf Herders, I'm Addy Thomas.
And I am Ben Milton.
Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about AwesomeCon. This is just 2 days after AwesomeCon.
Yep.
It's quite an experience.
I'm still tired, man.
Yeah, I know. My feet are now all right, but yesterday they were still feeling it. Before we get into our stories from AwesomeCon, just want to remind you that you can go to our website. You can be a part of the podcast by being a patron. You can find out all that is entailed in becoming a patron on Patreon, on our website, some exclusive special behind the scenes episodes for our D20 game, all sorts of other perks. All of that is on our website, certainpov.com. All our social media is there. Weight loss, or sometimes weight gain civil war, is also there. All of that, again, is at our website.
And the most important thing,
yes.
Let me interrupt, because I don't normally
really
do this.
Weird. Yeah,
I know, I'm touching you, and I know you don't like that.
No,
I'm the one who doesn't like it.
Yeah.
BlurredCon is coming up in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And we're going to be hosting a panel there, doing the D20 game live. Yep. All the information is there on the announcement bar. You can just click on the announcement bar. It's a black bar at the top of the website, saying that
Webmaster Ben.
Right. I'm pretty proud of myself about this. So you can just click that. It'll take you right to the BlurredCon site. You can buy your tickets, get your hotel, the whole 9 yards. The tickets are already selling. They've got over 500 tickets already sold. They're expecting 1,000, 1,500 people at this event this weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe more. It's not out of the question that there could be more. So if you're in the DC area in 2 weeks, we would love to have you come on out and see us at the game. It would be great.
So AwesomeCon, it was an experience. I decided to do the 3-day VIP, which was definitely overpriced, completely unnecessary.
Yeah, this time, which is weird, because when we looked at the guest list, I was like, this is a great guest list. And then as I was going down the list going, all right, I don't really want to pay to see that person. I don't want to pay to see that person.
I'm not a Doctor Who fan just
We're
yet.
A Doctor Who fan.
Doctor Who either, yeah. I don't know where that's going to go.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Dr. Fu.
Between Doctor Who and Dr. Fu, and Fu Manchu.
And Fu Manchu. That's going to be the last Doctor. That'd be the best.
Is that an Asian Doctor?
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
I'd watch it.
So moving on from that. Yeah, there weren't a lot of guests that I was particularly interested in. If it weren't for Stan Lee being there and knowing that he's already on sort of his farewell tour when it comes to cons, I don't think I would have bothered
with life,
any...
let's be honest.
Well, let's not speak that too early. Come on.
I'm just saying.
Jeez,
he didn't look
you
healthy.
are in a dark mood today.
I am it is bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it's not that weird.
But yeah, so Stan Lee, we got a picture, and it was last year we got Adam West, so we're afraid that we're part of a curse, that their next big headliner may be on their way out.
Well,
too.
we're hoping that it's Michael Bay.
Yeah, that's
our
what
dream.
We can pray for
that's
right
our
now.
dream. If we are actually the angel of death of nerd culture, we're hoping Michael Bay, for whatever strange reason, decides to come to AwesomeCon.
Do you think it's worth spending $200 whatever to take a picture with Michael Bay?
If I knew it would end Michael Bay, I would pay $2,000.
Wow.
Those movies are bad.
No, they are, but I mean, I don't hate them that much.
I do.
Okay, well,
I do.
It's very clear where you stand on that, so we'll move on.
I'd sell my kids' college fund for that.
Jeez.
Well, I don't know. Honestly, my kids aren't going to college, let's be honest.
So this year's panels were also a little bit different. I was kind of annoyed the entire time because we submitted for a panel and didn't get approved. So I think I was just bitter the whole time.
I think you actually thought we were going to get a panel. I never really thought we would get a panel.
Have you seen, so I've been to a whole lot more AwesomeCon panels than you have, and I've seen some of the quality of those panels, and you saw some of the quality of those panels. And okay, this is a 5th-year con, so it's still it's definitely it's big, it's growing, but I felt that we had an interesting enough pitch and enough credibility.
No, we definitely don't have that. That's where I thought we didn't have a chance. We don't have the name recognition. We don't have the credibility. We're not really well known in the local nerd community.
Yeah.
Yet.
There were some of those panels that didn't have name recognition either.
No, they did.
They had doctorates.
They had doctorates and topics.
All right, never mind.
So that's where we got beat. I just didn't expect to. I think like in order for us to get onto like an AwesomeCon and like grow from there, like we clearly need to
hit the smaller cons.
Yeah, like work our way up the circuit. Let everybody know we're serious and we're gonna be here and we're not going anywhere. We may not know what the hell we're talking about, but we'll show up. Like that's guaranteed.
Well, I think the best thing that we took away from last year's AwesomeCon was that we weren't truly good enough to do a Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, that became very apparent when we went to a Tashi Station podcast Star Wars group.
It was called Rampant Speculation in a Galaxy Far, Far Away, and they just went down all these rabbit trails of like Star Wars minutia, and we just realized we couldn't keep up with those guys. Like just the audience, not the panel.
Yeah. So we're not good enough for that. Star Wars is my religion, but man, I don't read the books. It's like my real religion.
So the panels were kind of the same deal this year. We didn't really have anything that interesting. Really, I think the highlight for us this year was the result of a bet. So it started out with pain and suffering, but I feel I took it and owned it and kind of turned it for good.
You did. You took what could have been a bad situation for you and turned it into something positive for the podcast.
Breathing and Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah, that was great. So the bet was this. Let me set the table for you. Addy and I worked together at a radio station, and he had started a fantasy football league. He needed somebody extra to join the league. I don't really like football. It's not my favorite game on the planet. I don't really pay much attention to it. At that point, I was definitely not paying any attention to it.
You participated in a lot of trash talk. There was more. It wasn't like we needed somebody.
So they asked me to join this league, and yes, I do trash talk. That is the one true thing that I do enjoy about it.
And that's all that matters for fantasy football.
Well, then I'm the king. So they started becoming competitive, and there started being bets involved.
Yeah, especially when it came to you and me, because we always have had
a rivalry.
Yeah, and our first game ever was a tie.
Yeah, which really set the table.
Yeah, because we went 1-1-1 that first year.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yep.
So anyway, the bet this year was if whoever lost was going to get a punishment from the division. Whoever lost the division, which is 4 guys. It's you, me, J. Mike, and Gene, God rest his soul. And so whoever lost that division, which was you this year, had to be punished. And the agreement was...
Just came off a championship.
Yeah, that's true. You had a good year. You won the championship.
So there was no chance that I was going to be the very bottom of the division. But... Of course, fate. If I never believed in fate, I do after this season, because I ended up at the bottom, and the bet was that if I lost, you were gonna dress up as a sexy Ewok.
Yeah, which is a brutal fucking bet, man.
Yeah.
That is mean to everybody involved, not just me.
And for me, it was gonna be Darth Jar Jar. And from the sound of some people who passed us, they felt it was just as harsh.
Oh, dude, that was the best part about it, was just seeing people's reaction. They had one of 2 reactions. It was either, oh my God, Darth Jar Jar, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen, or fuck that guy. There was no
in the middle.
Look at that, it's a Darth Jar Jar. It was like an extreme emotion. And there was a couple people. There was one, Kylo Ren in particular, who stared you down, dude. You couldn't see because you had the stupid mask on.
I couldn't see through that mask.
You're like, have your hand on my shoulder, and I'm leading you through the crowd just so you're exposed to as many people as possible to embarrass you as much as possible.
Yeah, I know.
And this Kylo Ren is just standing by the bathrooms, and he's just glaring at you.
Don't you think that's just the nature of a Kylo Ren, though?
I mean, if he was
he had the mask on.
No.
Oh, he didn't have.
He had the mask off, and he was just like staring at you with these dead eyes. I was like, he might actually hit Addy.
Maybe he's just really emo.
So what you don't know, though, is I walked towards him purposefully.
Of course you did.
To see what would happen, because I was kind of hoping he'd take a swing at you. He didn't, unfortunately. But yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun. That was like your first real big like cosplay experience, right?
Yeah, closest thing to it. I mean, I just.
Well, what would you call it if it wasn't cosplay?
I guess it was more punishment than anything else. But we did turn it into like passing out as many Stay Scruffy My Nerf Herder stickers as possible.
Yeah.
And like we got at least 100 of them out.
About 150.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for anyone who wanted to take a picture of me or with me, we basically got them a sticker.
Forced a sticker, right?
Yeah, mentioned we have a podcast, and some people seemed really excited about it. But
some people were like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?"
Right.
Which is a fair question.
So we may adjust that strategy next year.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Yeah.
But you live and learn.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so
it was more about the punishment than the stickers.
Yeah, it was, because my God, it was so hot, and it was so. I mean, already like breathing is not like.
Yeah, because we went on Saturday, which was the busiest day.
Yeah,
it was sold out.
Yeah,
and it was wall to wall people.
Yes.
Everywhere, and so I took you to the busiest part. I took you to the expo floor where there would be the most amount of people to see you.
Yeah, it was easily like every 5 minutes I had to remove the mask. So
it wasn't. No,
it felt like it.
It wasn't 5 minutes. You went a little longer. You went like 6.5.
Later on, I was able to go a little longer.
Yeah. You started getting into the mode of it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, yeah, I mean, it was a good con. It wasn't great. I didn't love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it'll be a little bit better when we have different guests to choose from. Because again, for me, it was the guests. Like, there was not a single Star Wars related guest this year. Like last year, at least they had
just
Admiral
had Star Wars Celebration, man. Like,
well, all right, whatever. But I mean, they usually have somebody. Like last year, they had Akbar.
They had
some other guys
and Darth Vader.
That's right. David Prose was there last year. So, and we went to the Ages of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel last year. I did end up going to the Scott Snyder panel this year. And I didn't plan to stay for it initially because from the description, I didn't think it was that interesting. But the Tech of Batman panel was actually pretty interesting because they not only had... so this year they had the National Science Foundation be a bigger part of this con, and I guess
which was cool.
Yeah, it actually gives this con a little bit more flavor just because they have access to the kind of people that they do in DC with the Smithsonian and all of that. I met a guy who was basically a PR guy for NSF, and he was talking about the initiatives that they're doing and trying to work with AwesomeCon and what they can do.
Wait, what's NSF?
National Science Foundation. They were the ones who put on FutureCon and all of a lot of the science gear panels. So it does give this a little bit more of a flavor than just a generic pop culture con, basically.
Yeah, it was a little different.
So that was interesting. Tech of Batman was kind of interesting because they had some DOD and CIA former people who worked for DOD and CIA formerly who talked about.
Did they have a Batman suit?
They talked about some of the armor that they have developed that's not too different from what some of the stuff that they have in the Batsuit. But the whole glider fabric thing. Apparently it'd have to be 130 feet long to actually maintain human flight.
Oh, well, that's disappointing to
know. Yeah. So they're talking about the armored batsuit, someone would fry in it. I think that's something we've heard before. But the most interesting thing was the
no, you know my theory.
What?
My theory is that he uses his own urine to cool the suit down.
I'm gonna move on from that. And the anti-shark repellent was a real thing developed during World War II, and I think I've read that before. But they were talking about how that's actually a much more major. The CIA guy was that's a major concern all the time because he talked about how in Afghanistan when they would have to drop supplies, they needed to make sure they had goat repellent so that they wouldn't tear up the supplies that soldiers or whoever else needed. So
all right,
yeah, it was a little bit interesting. It was kind of interesting because they also kept on Scott Snyder, Tom King, who's currently writing Batman right now. And Snyder's writing All-Star Batman right now, and Greg Capullo, who's the artist for him. So they had them talking a little bit and giving their input. Apparently, Scott Snyder talks to his wife a lot to try to get as much do as much research. And they were talking about the research process of how to dissolve a body in however many minutes if they want to for a story idea and how weird that is. So it was a lot more fun than I expected it to be. But
my wife and I have those conversations a lot too.
Well, yeah, but she's a huge CSI fan. Well, every crime
kind of
drama ever.
Yeah, including Bones, for God's sakes.
Yeah, not high standards there.
No, I'm not proud of her for that. Well, the other thing that I really did enjoy, though, is seeing some of the cosplayers. We met Jesus.
Oh, yeah, the guy cosplaying as Jesus randomly.
Was my favorite. Still my
favorite.
He was
Irish Jesus. I think that helped.
Which helped a lot. Yeah. And he was an alcoholic, and he knew about the Holiday Inn thing.
Yeah.
So he might have actually been Jesus.
Right. There were some cool ones. There was the Sith Disney princesses was pretty awesome.
Who won the costume contest?
Right, on Saturday.
Yeah.
There was
They loved you, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They loved you.
And then there was the abundance of Ricks. That was probably my favorite. There was 2 Mortys I ever
Rick
saw.
and Morty's? Yeah, there was a lot of Ricks.
Yeah. And it was pretty fun, like the different scenarios. Sometimes people wanted to take pictures with Dark Jar Jar, and especially that Rick.
Yeah, he wanted to like receive a blessing or something.
Yeah, kneel in front of me and receive a blessing.
Well,
from Dark
Vader
Jar Jar.
did that to you too.
That's true. That's really weird. That seems like a major role reversal. There.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. I was pro.
This is a lot for your ego.
I hope you feel good about yourself.
I
buddy.
did. I
That's what this was all. That's what this punishment was about, to make you feel good about yourself.
No, it wasn't.
Fucked this up bad. I gotta rethink this.
Well, while Ben is regretting that, don't forget you can check out what else is going on with us through Patreon on our social media, and don't forget to please check us out at BlurredCon Friday, June 30th in Crystal City, Virginia, Arlington, Virginia, just outside Reagan Airport. All of the details for BlurredCon, how to get tickets, all of that you can find on our website, certainpov.com. And until next week, stay scruffy, my nerf herders.
Thanks for listening to Certain Point of View. Don't miss an episode. Just subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on iTunes. Head over to certainpov.com.